So many of the we did about 19, 20 interviews while we were away, and well, pretty much all of them taught us a different thing in a way. But one of the or two of the interviews that stuck with me personally was one we did with Claudia Youngstra and Jan Tichelar from Tichelar Macum. And the reason for that is both of them are doing something that's they're doing their own spin on something that's traditionally Dutch and their version of what Dutch culture is. And that was very valuable for me because I'm an immigrant myself, and I've always been trying to find a way of designing something in order to enhance a newcomer's way of living in Canada. And I never could comprehend how to do this or how to go about a creative way of doing social design, I guess, in a way. And just seeing how they were reinventing what traditionally is known to be Dutch and modernizing it and making it in a way that people could use it, people could enjoy it while still keeping the Dutchness to it was quite valuable and made me quite inspired to do something with my own background and with my own culture, but put my own spin on it and make it the way I want it to be. So that was something that was extremely inspiring for me to see and see them do what they do. So another firm, I suppose, that we interviewed was the Makers Van. And the two brothers that were present at the interview, they were probably the most relatable for me out of the bunch of designers that we interviewed because their age, and they had just graduated out of Design Academy Eindhoven 5 years ago. So their advice was rather realistic, and it made sense for somebody who's going to be graduating next year. And how do you get started and get on your feet, and how do you start making the stuff that you want to make? And some of their best advice that I found quite interesting was be modest, because that was the Dutch culture that we realized. The Dutch are modest, or the Dutch are humble, sorry. They're saying be humble, but don't be modest. If you have a good idea, shout it from the rooftops, say it as much as you can, tell everybody. You don't know who's going to hear it and who's going to like it and who's going to want to work with you. So don't be prideful in a sense of have an ego, but don't be modest. If you have something to say it, and say it well. Basically, just communicate what you know. And another thing that was just like, as soon as they said it, was like light bulb going off is Russell keeps telling his students of know everything you know, but try to give away all you know. And you get more in return when you share your information. And I always heard that from Russell, and it made sense, but at the same time, hearing the Makers Van and the two brothers, the thing that they told us is any of our interns, they could go on our computers, copy anything and everything we have, copy all of our contact lists, as long as you respect the people and the ideas that you're copying and taking, you're good to go. But their notion of just share as much as you can, but respect the people that you're taking ideas from and respect the ideas that you're taking, then you're good to go. But it just blew me away of how much collaboration had allowed them to blossom and actually become the designers that they were, just based off collaborating with just the people in the buildings that they were with, or the interns that they get, or the freelancers that come to their office. And it was just, it opened a whole new window into how should I work, or how should I approach design after graduation or while in school. And the obvious answer was collaborate as much as you can. And that was a simple answer, but it was just living there in proof, and it worked. And another interview that we did that was quite different, it had a different tone to it, was with Walter America from Design Academy Eindhoven. And he obviously wasn't a designer as other interviews were, but his point of view on how to approach education about design and what you should learn as a student about design was very much so relieving in a sense, because being through SIAT, I feel like I had learned a lot of new things that I didn't feel like related to design, such as programming or technical stuff. And I always felt like our school needed more design. But talking to Walter America, and he's saying, well, design is a personal thing. Like you do your own thing the way you know to do it, but you need the medium and the media to translate and communicate what you want to say. So for that, you do need all the mechanical and the technical stuff. And that made me feel a lot better about the education I'm getting, and made me feel good that I know what I know. But aside from that, when the students asked him what would be his best advice for his students, and he said just to be honest with yourself and stick to your true talent. Don't do what you're studying just because you got a degree in it. Don't do something that you think you're good at. Be honest. What are you good at? Stick with that talent, stick with that passion, and just go for it. Don't wait for opportunities to come knocking, but create your own opportunities. And that was it. Simple words, it sounds very cliche, but in this spot, it's just like, well, yeah, that was the kick in the butt that I needed. Coming back, and it's like, well, I already started making some new furniture. I've already started making jewelry, and it's only been 10 days since we're back. And it's extremely inspiring in a sense of not just to design, but in the sense of you feel like 4 years of studying has had a purpose, and it's not just going to be a degree you get in a year and then what do you do? But rather, it feels like that fire has been lit, and I'm on some sort of a path. Even though I don't know what the destination is, I feel like I'm on the right path.